Hey, Fedorov! 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 Fedorov!
Franco Square has been boiling for the second day in a row.
My husband is in the military, as you can see, and this morning he wrote to me that he's ready to go on sick leave just to come to the rally. Well, how?
We are here representing not only the people who are here right now, but also the soldiers who are fighting for our freedom on the front lines.
The fate of the army is at stake. The protesters are demanding Fedorov's immediate return and are openly telling Syrskyi to leave.
Gangs!
But instead of answers, real chaos broke out. A soldier who came out in support of Fedorov was forcibly dragged into a van right in the middle of the crowd. Who gave the order to twist the arms of a frontline soldier? I'll tell you in a moment. Our film crew visited the scene in Kyiv and spoke live with eyewitnesses. We will show you the unvarnished truth that they are trying to hide and also reveal the government's reaction to the protest. And will Fedorov remain in his position? Watch right now. People flooded the streets as early as yesterday morning, and this is not just another silent protest, but a tough ultimatum to the authorities. There is one uncompromising demand. The deputies must immediately forget about their vacation until August, return to the Rada, and reinstate Mikhailo Fedorov to his position.
We definitely will not just stand by and watch all of this. That will not happen. We are not in that kind of country. We are not in Russia. In Ukraine, civil society is absolutely against such things.
Both Fedorov and Zaluzhny have very strong support among the people and the military. And for Zelensky, it is not advantageous to keep truly popular people in the government. And these people have truly done everything for our victory and continue to do so. And instead of making effective decisions, unfortunately, our authorities are now making political decisions that only harm our country.
Just as soon as the work is done, worked until 5, then left on a motorcycle. On the way I bought a piece of cardboard and drew on it. They told me, actually gave it to me for free, which made me happy. And they said it was good luck, and right after work. I think it's important, so I have to stand here as well.
Those we constantly see on our phones also came out to Franco Square with cardboard signs in their hands. Lebiga, Lacha, Nadia Dorofieva, Jerry Heil, Zhenya Yanovich, and dozens of other Ukrainian stars. But most interestingly, this protest even touched foreigners.
We represent Defense Tech for Ukraine, an international community of more than 700 volunteers, engineers, project managers, IT specialists, investors, former members of the Ukrainian military, current members of the Ukrainian military, donors, and other people who care about supporting Ukraine. We are currently in Kyiv, helping to increase Western investment in Ukraine's defense sector, and we are also working directly with some military units, testing new prototypes of defense technologies. We are foreigners, we cannot vote here in Ukraine, and we have very limited influence on your political system. However, based on everything I have read, everything I have seen, and the dozens and dozens of clear opinions from Ukrainians we have spoken with, the overall impression is that Fedorov has been a tremendous driving force for Ukraine's defense efforts, providing a powerful positive impetus to eliminate the negative post-Soviet influence on the defense sector and the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. And unfortunately, we do not know all the internal political details behind why he was dismissed. But this looks like a very unfortunate decision.
And now the main question, why did the dismissal of a single official literally turn the whole country upside down? What exactly did Fedorov do, and why is there such a fierce fight for him now? Because in just about half a year, he literally broke the old system, conducted a tough audit that uncovered massive overspending of 300 billion hryvnias. He forced officials at the Ministry of Defense to take a lie detector test, and those who failed the polygraph or simply refused were immediately shown the door. Moreover, he switched procurement to open tenders, which made it possible to bring down the price of scarce 155mm shells by as much as 16%. But his main trump card is a technological breakthrough. It was Fedorov who scaled up domestic drone production hundreds of times over and flooded the front with them. And our naval drones imposed a total lockdown on the Russian fleet in Crimea, simply driving the occupiers out of Sevastopol and trapping them in their ports. He openly demanded that we fight with brains and technology, not with people. And he became the only one at the top who publicly criticized the whip-based mobilization method. And here is the result. The behind-the-scenes war at the top, which they tried to hide for months, has now spilled out into the open.
I would really like to see unity. The sides did not find it. And this is not just a problem for the sides and for me. And that is, I am not shirking responsibility. And as I told you, I respect both sides. I know their strengths and I know their weaknesses, and I really want them to strengthen Ukraine. But it is what it is.
This is not a trivial personnel reshuffle, but a head-on collision between two completely different worlds. The young reformer Fedorov and the old general system led by Syrskyi. TSN insiders say that lately, real hell has been breaking loose at the meetings of the staff. Fedorov openly accused the commander-in-chief of blocking military technologies and scheming behind his back.
In fact, when the president said he does not plan to replace Syrskyi, that is his decision as the supreme commander-in-chief. And I fully agreed with this decision and said, then I will learn to work with him, because after all, our client is the Ukrainian people, not someone else, not anybody else. And so we have to work together. But we encountered the fact that all the initiatives we proposed started to be blocked, and Syrskyi, considering all the problems we've discussed today, is not ready to openly talk about the problems face to face. He is willing to personally attend meetings, weave intrigues, and think that someone has ordered some kind of media campaign, rather than seeing the problem in the actions that are taking place. And this led to the fact that he actually issued an ultimatum, as we know. And instead of coming up with a way to defeat Russia asymmetrically, which is the main task of the commander-in-chief, he figured out how to divide the country we are in today.
Fedorov did not remain silent and presented the commander-in-chief with a tough bill. He pointed out 11 systemic gaps in the army's management and warned about the danger of the military becoming criminalized. In the corridors, the situation is described as briefly and cynically as possible. Mikhailo simply signed up for a war with the old men of the system, and in the end, these old men drained his energy. But the reaction to his dismissal shocked even Bankova.
Let the man do his job. No, don't make a big deal out of it.
As my sign basically says, people should be thanked for quality reforms, not fired.
We will come out and stand right here, for just as long as it eventually takes.
While the position of Minister of Defense is officially vacant, those at the top are frantically trying to decide who to appoint. But the new Prime Minister Koretsky is against bringing Mikhailo back, although Zelensky assures that he will remain part of his team. At first, they wanted to replace Fedorov with the head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ihor Klimenko. By the way, he has already become a meme after he posted a video where he inspects barracks or dormitories with a serious face.
Look, you see, they've already learned how to make the beds. What does make the beds mean? Who hasn't learned yet? See how neatly it's made? Yes. This means that this person definitely served before in the armed forces of Ukraine or the Soviet Union. And this one didn't serve? And this one most likely didn't serve? Or wasn't taught in 2 or 3 years of service? And is this fundamentally important? That discipline is fundamentally important.
After that, people just exploded with hate and laughter.
The alternative they're offering us, this proper way of making beds, is just some kind of Soviet stuff. Moreover, you can see it in Russian public pages where they write about Fedorov's results and say, like, well, great, they replaced him with someone who cares about discipline in, I don't know, dormitories. But, well, the most important thing, in my opinion, is quality results. I don't know what results Klimenko can deliver, but I see Fedorov's results, and in those, I am confident.
Klimenko also wasn't voted for in the Rada. So the position of Minister of Defense is still vacant for now, and Kamara will temporarily fulfill the duties.
Yevgeny Kamara will serve as Ukraine's Minister of Defense. He headed the Alpha Special Operations Center of the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU. This is the most effective elimination of occupiers on the front line. It is Alpha that is always #1 in the monthly results. Kamara was responsible for the long-range operations of the Security Service of Ukraine. We have agreed that Kamara will also oversee the long-range operations of the security forces. This is a priority. He knows exactly what Ukraine needs and can also manage the internal situation within the defense forces. He has sufficient security experience to prevent things that would be shameful.
Mikhailo Drapati openly took Fedorov's side. He publicly supported the dismissed minister, and a real storm instantly erupted under his post. People in the comments started a popular vote and began massively writing, "It's time to replace Syrskyi with Drapati." Ukrainians are convinced that such a tandem, Drapati at the head of the army and Fedorov in the Ministry of Defense, can pull the country out of the abyss.
We must not turn the army into a Ukrainian Wagner. That's exactly what Syrskyi is doing right now. That's why I believe Syrskyi needs to be dismissed. Definitely. For example, Drapati's candidacy.
First of all, Drapati commands an immense amount of respect and admiration among the military and all servicemen. He has built a deep sense of trust among the troops, and many soldiers respect him greatly, as he consistently makes quite effective, highly strategic and well-considered decisions, regardless of the specific position or location to which he is assigned.
No one even asked us about being forced into meat grinder assaults, and that's a taboo. We cannot die for nothing.
But the cherry on top of this absurd cake is what happened right during the rally in Kyiv. An active duty soldier came out to the square to support Fedorov, and guess what? In front of hundreds of people, they tried to busify him. See what it looked like from the inside next, straight from the eyewitnesses themselves.
There were shameful, very shameful actions from, as I understood, the TCC or the Military Law Enforcement Service against the soldier who was speaking here. Then when he went over there to the corner just to stand and catch his breath, some people tried to take him away in a van, but thankfully people managed to stand up for him, and in the end they didn't take him. But as we can see, such shameful, disgraceful things are happening now when people come out to defend the right decisions that need to be made while the authorities are making the wrong decisions.
And what do you think, will this intense pressure from the street force Bankova to back down? Or will the old system still prove stronger than the will of the people? Write your opinion in the comments. It's very important for us to know what you think. We will continue to follow this confrontation. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and give a like so you don't miss the next episodes. Things are only gonna get hotter from here.
We stood, we stand, and we will keep standing. We have stood, we stand today, and we will always keep standing tall.